Welcome back to the On the Gas podcast. This episode, we spoke about British Superbikes at Thruxton, World Superbikes at Portimao, and the weight difference between Bautista and Toprak, and everything else in between that as well, and the Austrian Grand Prix. That's upcoming as well. Yeah, we've had to record this 3 times because I said Australian.
The Australian, not the Australian Grand Prix. Not to be confused, guys.
No.
We are at the Red Bull Ring.
And
yes, we are. So
stick around to the end to hear our predictions. I get obsessed with the weather.
Yeah.
Lauren fact checks Deck and me.
Everything.
It's this is really quite the episode.
It's great.
Yeah.
Top
enjoy.
Content. You'll love it. Yes. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy listening. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of the On the Gas podcast. I'm joined by Cameron and Lauren, as you can see.
You
that should be the thumbnail.
The listeners, viewers.
Yes.
Yeah, episode 2.
What if we run out of hands?
I don't know. There you go. Thumbnail, YouTube, because yes, as you can see, we are obviously back with video. Firstly, just want to say thank you to everybody for your feedback on the last episode. Genuinely really appreciate it. Really appreciate the love as well, to see that everybody's kind of loving the new face cam thing. It's, not going to lie, a lot more work to kind of put together, but if it improves the experience for everybody, you know what, it's fully worth it. And obviously we've got the Instagram as well, On the Gas Pod. Nearly at 200 followers already, which is nuts. Just posted that video with Eddie O'Shea, and that was my first ever interview live. And I tell you what, it was terrifying. Can't lie.
Smashed it, mate. Smashed it.
Thank you. But yeah, it seems to have done well. So we've got Joel Kelso up this week. Looking forward to that. You know what I'm also looking forward to? The Austrian Grand Prix.
Yeah. The Red Bull Ring.
Can't wait. Oh yeah, I am joined by Cameron and Lauren, if you can't tell already.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Is this where you're going to cut us like into the frame? Be like, Baba.
Yeah, Baba.
Surprise. Yeah.
Yeah. And Lauren's wearing a Scott Swan hoodie t-shirt, is it? Didn't he win again on the weekend?
He did. He won on Saturday. He started from pole and away he went, and he was untouchable. Unfortunately, he had a bit of a crash. He had a crash on Sunday, but you know, I think championship wise he's doing all right still. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, that's his 3rd win of the season now in the Superstock class. So
yeah, back-to-back wins as well, of course.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thursday into Thruxton, and touching on Thruxton a little bit. I didn't see much from Thruxton, I can't lie, but the viral video of the last lap of the race, wow, I wish I'd watched that.
I've never seen racing like it. If I'm honest, what?
There was so much. I thankfully got to sit down and watch race 1 live on Saturday, and oh my god, I was literally on the edge of my seat for the whole thing. It was like incredible. Some of the best racing I think I've ever watched. Like not only this season, but like all time. It was so good. And then unfortunately I didn't get to watch the 2 races on Sunday live, but I have caught up with them, so I did see what went on. Oh my god. Like, can we just go to Thruxton every round? The place is crazy. It looks so good.
Yeah, and like everybody, because Stuart Higgs also posted it on Twitter.
Yeah.
I saw Damon Hill retweeted it, and then the Swinksy on Twitter, who's Spanish. She does lots of Spanish media and stuff. She posted it and was like, this is like a Moto3 race, never mind a superbike race. And all the Spaniards in the comments are like, oh my god, what is this? We need to watch this instead. So
that's what I was about to say. Well. It's crazy. It's like if you take the madness of Moto3, but then you also appease all these people being like, oh, all these aero and ride height devices,
electronics,
ruining the racing, electronics, yada yada. Scrap that. No traction control on a liter bike with 250 plus horsepower. And, you know, they're like 5-6 abreast on the track. Madness. Absolute madness.
With the stock bike in there as well, may I add. Billy O'Connell on the stocker.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, he was flying on Saturday. Jesus.
Yeah, he got a podium on Sunday.
Yeah. He just
Crazy.
missed out on Saturday. Like, just
Like,
missed out.
I think Andrew Irwin's crash kind of caused a bit of chaos.
Yeah, it cost him a little
I
bit.
was surprised only one of them went down, and he went down in an absolutely insane manner, may I add. Thankfully, he's all right.
No.
That
And then
was
his
crazy.
brother went into the same on
Slow-mos.
Sunday.
Oh my god, Air
Oh,
Irwin. For
Glenn
both of
Irwin's
them, to be
crash.
honest, it was so bad. I don't know how Glenn was fit to ride for race 3 and he still managed to score a point. It was crazy.
Absolute
Crazy,
just
crazy,
walked
crazy.
warriors. Honestly,
wild. Yeah.
they're absolute warriors in BSB. You know, we talk about BSB quite a bit because, well, why not? It deserves the recognition. It's an absolutely fantastic championship. I saw a few American riders saying, you know, this racing looks amazing. I listened to the Pipe Dreams podcast as well the other day, and I've actually just started listening to a second episode because genuinely, really good podcast. You know, I always go about the thing of us podcasts, we're not against each other, we're all together for the same cause. So I'm not afraid to kind of shout out another podcast. And the Pipe Dreams podcast with James Rispoli and Corey Alexander, they had Cameron Peterson on, who is
Okay.
the Attack Yamaha rider. He won the other weekend actually. And they were talking about his whole career and stuff like that. But then they got onto BSB, and Cam Peterson was like, "It just looks crazy, you know. So it looks really good." And then I remember when we had Jake Gagne on the podcast a little while ago as well, and he was like, "Oh, I'd love to do Cadwell Park, which is in 2 weeks' time."
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone
and
wants to do Cadwell, for
yeah.
sure.
I mean, I saw an
Yeah.
interview actually with I can't remember the guy's name. Do apologize, but it was Mark Marquez and Bennett's at Silverstone.
It wasn't Duncan Vincent. I was going to say it
Was it
but actually,
Michael Mike? I can't remember the name. Do apologise, but yeah, Bennett did do an interview with Mark Marquez, and he was like, you know, what BSB tracks would you like to go on? And Mark was like, oh, Donington, got good memories there, first ever Grand Prix podium, and then he was like, oh, I'd like to do the one with the jump, and again, Cadwell,
The one with the jump. Yeah.
and then I still remember when Toprak came to BSB.
Yeah.
And Andrea Locatelli, and they're doing some laps around Cadwell, and Toprak in like his third lap jumped the mountain.
It's
And you're
like,
like,
superbikes meets motocross. Why not?
it
You
is.
know?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And some of the photos you see, I think there's one of Chrissy Rouse, God bless his soul, absolutely just, and Jonathan Raya as well. There's one of him just
Sending it.
absolutely airborne. Josh Brooks, there's a video of that the Grey Fam got. Yeah, Cadwell's amazing, but BSB in general, I think, superb, deserves a
Yeah.
shout out, I think.
The great thing with
Yeah.
BSB as well is like the point system keeps it exciting right to the end too. Like, what was last season decided by? Half a point or something?
Half a point.
Come on, half a point, not even one. Half.
I
Like,
think the two of them probably still have nightmares about it, to be honest. I know
Honestly,
I do,
yeah.
so
yeah,
Yeah, unbelievable. But yeah, it's just so good. And the racing, like we said, absolutely sensational. If you get a chance, if you haven't seen it, head over to, I think it's Eurosport's Instagram account. If you're on Instagram, it'll be on the Eurosport Twitter, no, Facebook page. I'm sure of that. And then Stuart Higgs on Twitter has also shared it. Go and give it a watch. You'll not be disappointed.
no.
it's
Or
wild.
go. I mean, there's 4 rounds
Just-
left of the season, so
If you can get over, go. I mean, obviously, it
there
might be a
has to
bit
be a
difficult for
track.
people far
Yeah.
away, but
There's usually a track close by. I mean, we go to Knockhill every year in Scotland. We're making the trek down to Alton this year as well for the second round there. So it's definitely worth it if you've got the
If you can
time,
get
you can
there.
get off work and you can get there. I highly
And you
recommend.
get in
And
the
you never know,
paddock
you
as
might
well.
see us there.
Yeah, that's true. I might be up
Well,
as well, so
Yeah.
don't put them off. Goodness me.
yeah. But yeah, because you can, the paddock's wide open as well. You can go right up
Yeah.
to the back of the garages if you wanted to. So you can see all the riders you see at TT as well, and John McGuinness is always about, and Hickman and Glenn Irwin, and well, obviously because they're racing as well. But it's just cool that you can just see your heroes just chilling.
They do a lot of like meet and greet stuff as well,
Yeah, on the
which
pit
I
lane.
love about BSB. It's just so open. This year with the weather at Knockhill, it wasn't as good as the year before. There was a lovely heat wave last year. And like so many riders were just out and about, and they had like a little fan stage and stuff like that, and they were doing interviews, and Off Track podcast was there as well, and just everyone was standing about chatting, and all the riders have so much time for the fans as well, which is something maybe some riders in other categories don't do, whereas BSB riders are so down to earth, and yeah, they appreciate fans coming up to them and asking for photos and asking how they are and getting them to sign things and stuff like that. So I think that makes the experience 10 times better as well. You're not going to get, like pushed to the side or anything like that. There's no big egos off the track in BSB.
Yeah, on the
On
track,
track,
different
yeah.
story.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
But off
you
track,
have
no,
to, really.
that's a really good championship to be involved in, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Moving just before we move on as well from BSB, big shout out to Max Cook, who has been on this podcast as well, getting his first podium in BSB. Amazing ride, amazing rider as well, may I add. I mean, there's not much else you can say about Max. He's absolutely superb, and I really hope to see him in WorldSBK one day. I think he's got talent to do it. And then another shout out to Rory Skinner for coming back after smashing up his leg, his tib and fib, and he's back. Absolute superhuman again. Fair play to Rory.
He did say afterwards that I think his actual words were a bit off more than he could chew, but I mean, still, like, fair play. Good God, to get on one of those bikes after that kind of injury not that long ago is valiant.
Yeah.
To say the least. Yeah.
He was keen to get back on the bike. I think they even still had Richard Kerr there, who had stepped in for him at the last round there, just in case. But they didn't need him in the end.
No. And one more little thing. When we spoke to Eddie O'Shea at Silverstone, off air, we were just chatting about kind of riders, maybe he'll take a seat and things like that. And he was gone about Marco Morelli, who I've been talking about on the podcast for years, because I remember when he did his Junior GP debut at Valencia and was battling for a win, and just superb. Didn't actually have the money, sat out for a year. Now he's in the Red Bull Rookies, in the European Talent Cup as well, and he's absolutely smashing it. So fast. He's riding for the MLAV team. Went to Thruxton, never even seen the place before, didn't even know which way it went round. I think he won one of the races by 11 seconds.
What?
I knew he won,
I'm gonna have to check
what?
back now. I think he won both. Let's have a look. Marco Morelli. I'm almost certain I read 11 seconds earlier. No, it's not Marco Morelli. Who is
Still,
that?
to pull out the win by any seconds is, a track that you've never been to is impressive
absolutely
enough.
Superb. Yeah. But he won both races. It wasn't even like he won one of them. So the British Talent Cup Instagram account. So there's Eddie O'Shea. Yeah, race 2 winner, Marco Morelli. Red flag race, he won it and made it a double. And then the first race, in his debut, first race, he won by 11 seconds.
All right.
So,
settle down,
big
Marco.
talent. He's riding for the MLAV squad as well. So,
right.
Hopefully big things in the future. I think he'll probably step up with the team into the Junior GP class. Maybe end up as Eddie's teammate next year, potentially, if Scott doesn't stay.
Is he going to be old enough next year? Yeah.
He's 18, I think. He's a bit older. This is what I mean. He's been held back, Morelli, because of money and things like that. He made his Junior GP debut at 15 and nearly won the race. And now he's in the rookies and ETC. And he's quite far up in the rookies. So big talent. Keep your eyes on Marco Morelli. But yes, this weekend it is Austria. But again, to tease you, before we go into that.
You're good at this. Oh my goodness.
Somebody set a new record this weekend past with 13 consecutive World Superbike wins.
I wonder who that could be.
Who that is. I tell you what, if you'd have told me before the season he'd not only win races, but win 13 consecutive races, I'd have laughed. I'd be like, what?
If you'd have told me before Misano, which is when this all started, I wouldn't have believed you. And that's only, 2-3 months ago?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's nuts.
It's not like he's running away with it. It's not like they're being handed to him on a plate. He had to work for that race 2 victory.
Maybe
Did you
this
watch
weekend.
It or not?
But in Donington, he did run away with it.
He dominated some of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, this weekend it maybe wasn't as easy as they have been in the past, but I've seen a lot of people on Twitter get really, really upset about it, and I think understandably so, because for so many years we've seen Jonathan Rea dominate. Then obviously Toprak came along, Batista came along. Then we've seen the dominance of Batista for the last couple of years. Now things have been put in place to sort of stop that from happening. And what happens then? All of a sudden, Toprak is now completely dominating. And I understand where people are coming from. As much as I love to see it, I'm a real big Toprak fan. It is getting a bit like, oh, come on now. Really? Again? Again?
Yeah.
13 races now? Like, it is incredible. And I cannot take anything away from him. He has been in a league of his own and he fully deserves to win the championship this year. But I feel like the last couple of years have badgered on about how great the racing is in World Superbikes and how close it is and how you just never know. And after 4 rounds now, it is getting to the stage now where, like I joked at the start of this weekend, oh, do you think Toprak will do the triple again?
Yeah.
But fully believing that, of course he will. Like, why wouldn't he? So, I don't know. I'm very torn on the situation because I do like Toprak, but I completely understand where people are coming from and the frustration of going from one dominant rider to another and now another. It's making it a little bit boring. Although his celebrations and stuff like that are incredible.
The gun thing,
the gun and everything from
so
your man from Turkey.
Yeah.
Which I completely missed the link there initially because I know I'd seen a couple of other athletes at the Olympics doing the celebration too. But
the 4 in a row thing as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a personality, which I think helps
brilliant,
the fact that he's dominating. But
yeah,
it's getting a bit old now. Can someone else just maybe take a win or two?
Yeah, well, it wasn't for like a try-in for Ducati, I think, in race 2 because Toprak collided with, I think it was Bautista, and lost. It was somebody, I can't remember. It might have been Lowe's, you know.
I think it was
and
Lowe's,
it ripped his wing off, and then suddenly every corner he was clearly struggling. And then on the straights, Bulaga was able to get alongside him and even past him a little bit, but that turn one, you're not outbraking Toprak at turn 1, especially at Portimao. Many have tried, many have failed, and Bautista obviously did what he could, crashed, and then he crashed, and you're like, oh, Toprak's got a bit of breathing room now, and then Bulaga was like, nope, straight on him, and Bulaga, I mean, what was it, 0.035 by the line? It was
like
close. It was close, and I find it hard to believe that Bulaga hasn't won the second race. He's won 1 race all year long.
It's because of Toprak.
Yeah.
It's all it is. And the thing is as well, that margin across the line, that's such fine margin. What do you say, 0.035 or something?
Yeah.
If Toprak had still been on the Yamaha,
no chance.
Yeah, it would have been second place, probably at best.
Well, last year at Portimao, he was getting absolutely smoked on that straight by the Ducatis.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why he punched his screen at the end and everything, because it was frustrating that no matter how good he was around the rest of the track, that straight was worth, I don't know, 0.2, 0.3 of a second per lap.
Easy.
Half a second. Yeah. And I think that's kind of the difference here as well, is the fact that both of the Aruba Ducatis are there or thereabouts every weekend, but it's only ever Toprak on a BMW that's podium at least, and a win now pretty much guaranteed every weekend. The other was a Van der Mark. He's doing all right, but he's not sort of on the same sort of level as both Ducatis are.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's clearly not a really good bike with a good rider. It's
Toprak.
It's a good bike, and it's Toprak.
VDM,
that's no longer being smoked on the straight, which is making the difference.
Well, VDM was there or thereabouts in the races and could battle at the front, and I think Gerlach got in the 1-2 on Friday and stuff, but Van der Mark couldn't hang with them. By a few laps in, Van der Mark was 6th or 7th, and after battling for the podium positions with Alex Lowe's. And so, it just shows that Toprak is able to extract something out of the bike that no one else can. And I genuinely believe that Toprak could actually win on any bike on that grid from what we've seen. He's already won the Kawasaki. He's already won on the Yamaha. He's already won on the BMW that's not won a race since like 2012 or 2011 with Marco Melandri. And this is, I know, a bit controversial potentially. I genuinely think if Toprak stepped on that Honda, he could win. I think he's that
at the right
good.
track. Yeah, I think at the right track for Toprak. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. It also begs the question: what would he do on a Ducati?
Oh, it's
I
demolished
think it'd
them.
be
Let's
silly.
be
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I don't think it does beg the question, does it? Everybody knows what would happen there, but
It just wouldn't be fair at that point. They'd have to cap it by like 5,000 revs to make it fair for everyone else.
Well, this is what I wonder now. I wonder what can they do to stop him is now the question, because they clearly put something in place to stop, well, that not to stop, but that has hindered Batista's performance, and that is just, it's not Batista's fault. It's just based on his size, and those bikes aren't light, they are heavy, and to lug that around is not an easy feat, and it's clearly caused him a lot of frustration this year. But like, what can they do to stop Toprak's dominance? Okay, he wins the championship with BMW. I know we had the conversation of if they end up going to MotoGP, etc., etc. But imagine Toprak stays and he starts like collecting teams like Pokemon, and it's just like, let me do
Gotta
it
catch them
again.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we could see him do something like that, and we could see him try and win on as many manufacturers as possible. But yeah, I don't think they're going to let this dominance continue, because they haven't let it continue in the past with the other two dominant riders that we've seen in recent years.
Yeah, I think they would probably put a rev limit on Toprak
yeah,
On
because
him
he left
himself.
Yamaha. Well, they'd have to put it on all BMWs, but this is the problem when
But
you
not,
have.
you've literally just said it,
Yeah.
because not all BMWs are performing well. It's
Yeah.
literally the rider is making the difference in this
And that's the problem.
situation.
When you have a bike that is not performing, but one rider is, it's not fair to penalise all four bikes for the favour of the other riders when it's only one rider doing well and the other riders are actually potentially struggling quite a lot to keep in the top 10.
Even with the weight limit that was brought in last year, no offense to Ronaldo, but he wasn't the most amazing teammate ever to Batista.
No.
And, he wasn't really in with a chance at the championship or anything along those lines. Clear to see, because he's been replaced, obviously, by Bulega, but it's the same situation there of like, Batista was doing well. The Ducati, yes, is a very, very, very good bike, but Rinaldi wasn't putting the same sort of performances in. It wasn't like we were seeing Ducati 1-2 every week, and they still put something in place. So I suppose it's a lot of food for thought and a lot of interesting questions that are going to need to be answered, because, like I said, people on social media are not happy about it. And if people on social media aren't happy about it, I can imagine, the people running it, etc., etc., are having those conversations too.
Ducati won't be happy because the Starman's been handicapped. And you care about last year, the only other rider really on a Ducati that was doing consistently well was Axel Bassani, who's also got a small size to him.
Yeah.
And so I think the Ducati favoured a smaller rider last year, but now that that's kind of out of the equation, you're seeing Petrucci and Bulega, who are taller riders. Bulega being a bit kind of slimmer, should we say, than Petrucci, who's built like a brick shit house. But yeah, the pair of them. Petrucci is a unit. I think when it was in MotoGP, he had trouble losing weight because he got to a point where it was like, I can't actually lose any more weight than what I've already lost.
He is. He's
naturally stocky.
And so, a big guy. Yeah, it's not really the right way to describe it, but he is a big guy.
Yeah, and so, oh my God, Cameron. Jesus Christ. But
say what you see. I don't know.
Okay, well, the pair of them are quite, big riders, and the pair of them are doing pretty well. Petrucci fought for the victory over the weekend, so did Bulega. they're both clearly not hindered by the weight
The
issue. And
size,
then it
yeah.
adds another question into the limit. Bautista is still 6 kilograms lighter than everybody else, and yet he's struggling this much. What do you mean shaking your head? Why are you shaking your head?
Like Batista's tiny.
What do you
I
mean?
can't.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
Like,
He's
I'm shaking my head, but I'm agreeing with you. Like I've
right.
met Batista quite a few times now. He is so small,
Yeah.
so small.
And so they put this limit in and they've gone, right, for every 1 whole kilogram that you are under the limit, we're going to add half a kilogram of weight to your bike. So Bautista has 6 kilograms extra on his bike for being 12 kilograms under that limit. So he's still got a 6 kilogram advantage over every other rider, and yet he's getting smoked. And so then, smoked is the wrong word because he has won races this year, but he's not dominating like he has previously. So then it begs the question, and I can't believe I'm about to say this because he's a 3-time world champion, was his size also playing giving him more of an advantage that was outweighing maybe the talent and the racecraft there, if that makes sense? He's obviously world champion multiple times, so that's out of the question for talent. But the level of talent Toprak has and Bautista, I think Toprak has more, but then the disadvantage of Toprak being slower on the straight and heavier was then tipped in Bautista's favour of being faster on the straight and lighter.
Well, you've just described it there. It's a
Yeah.
50-50 tip. Okay, yes, I would consider Toprak as being more talented as Batista.
Yeah.
But when you break it down the way that you just did about the weight, they both have their limits. They both have the thing that sort of falters them, that, keeps them human, sort of thing, that stops them from winning all around them. Toprak clearly struggled more with the Yamaha at the time, with his weight and his size on the bike. Now it's the other way around, and we're just seeing the switch then on who's dominating and who's winning. I think you described it pretty well. I don't think Batista won those championships, or wouldn't have won those championships, sort of thing. Like, it happened. He was better than everyone else in those 2 years
And that's
recently
pure talent.
than when he won it before. Yeah, like what we're seeing now is just the role reversal. It's Toprak's time now. There's things been put in place.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see them.
Toprak.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see them, on a fully stripped down bike, like a stock bike, and you could maybe then put the point of who would win.
Because I understand that with Bautista, having a 6 kilogram strap to your bike makes it a completely different bike to ride. It corners differently, it brakes differently, it handles differently.
Yeah,
the geometry, the weight distribution over the bike is completely different. The center of gravity is completely different. And as a rider who probably relies on the feel, because they all do, and the grip and how the whole bike kind of handles each corner, to then have such a dramatic change can be like as big as moving manufacturers first for a rider like Bautista, and suddenly his rocket ships become, a tin pot can that's as not very fast on the straight, shall we say, because he's got 6 kilograms strapped to it. And so I would like to see what would happen if you took all that weight off of Bautista, put him back to what he was last year, and keep Toprak the same. See what happens.
Well, there'd be no arguments then, would there?
There wouldn't.
I
That's
think.
true.
I mean, there would be, because people would just be like,
true.
"Oh,
There's
look, now
always-
it's the two of them dominating," and
Yeah.
someone would end up coming out on top more than the other. It's just how it works. But
It's
I think
true.
you pointed that out, right? Like, Batista will feel like he's like moved manufacturers, because that bike is so different to what it is last year. I think using Johnny Ray is a good example, moving from the Kawasaki race winner, however many times, 7-time world champion, to then move to the Yamaha thinking, 6. Moving then obviously to the Yamaha this year thinking, like, I'm coming off the bike that Toprak was still, although he lost out in the championship in the last 2 years, was still battling right until the very end in both years, and won it obviously in 2021, that I'm making a good decision here. And he's nowhere in terms of the championship, and he's only managed one podium.
Yeah.
Batista's probably feeling exactly the same way. I'd love to get in his head and talk to him about it. I've heard a couple of press conferences that Batista's been in, and I can't wrap my head around what the issue is or what he's struggling with at all. He puts a very good front on.
Yeah,
And
he
even
does.
with like the contract talks and stuff like that, like he's not really let anything slip from what I've heard. So the issues with the bike, yeah, I do wonder.
We'll have to get him on and chat to him about it.
Let's just hit him up. Come on,
Yeah,
Alvaro.
like, Alvaro, do you want to come on the pod and just talk about this year? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is an interesting one, I think. And it's tricky with playing the side of Dorna and the whole devil's advocate as well, because Dorna need to put on a good show. And they need the scraps that we saw back in 2021, was it, when Raya and Toprak were going head to head, and they were just unbelievable races in the year prior when it was Scott Redding was in the mix as well. And those races were so good. And you need to make that a thing and have that spectacle there. But you also can't have riders on having unfair advantages and then winning races and championships through that, which is why everybody kicked off so much about Bautista and the weight thing, because he was able to just power away for everybody on the straight, because even against riders on the same bike as him, because he weighed 10, 15 kilograms lighter than them. And so that's not fair also. And so then, but it's also unfair to penalise Toprak, who's running away with it a little bit based on pure talent on a bike that's not performed very well for over a decade now and is kind of doing things that bike shouldn't be doing. So then you've got to keep the spectacle. You've got to keep all the riders happy. You also can't unfairly penalise riders. How do you work that out? You just can't.
You can't
It's
please
difficult.
everybody. It's
It's not possible.
It's always the way. Yep.
Yeah, I think World Superbikes unfortunately have fallen into this trap. I think 2021 was the last year where we consistently seen like a battle until the very, very end of the championship, whereas now, unfortunately, Toprak is like 90 odd points ahead of Bulega.
Yeah,
I think
like
when you look back at like third and fourth, now Alex Lowe's is putting in a good fight. If he's fourth in the championship at the minute, but he's only 10 points behind Batista, I think that spices things up, and I'm intrigued to see how that goes. Obviously, with Bulega as well as a rookie in the championship, seeing how he continues the rest of his season. There is still really good standout points and things to look for, and if you're a fan of the whole sport, you know, looking down the entire grid, there is stuff to look out for, and there's the little things that maybe don't make the headlines, and you sort of just say, oh yeah, Toprak won a game, but like Remy Gardner's got P8 in the championship, he's on a good run at the minute.
Yeah, 7 points behind Ian None.
Yeah, Ian None in himself, who's back racing, like seeing him week in, week out, and he's had podiums, etc., etc. There is still a lot to say, but unfortunately you sort of have to dig through it and be watching the races and watching the practices and stuff like that to find out what's going on. Otherwise, you just click on, you watch the races, Toprak's winning everything.
And you miss it out.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. And it's the same thing with every championship that we watch. Maybe BSB is not a good example after the weekend that we had at Thruxton, but in MotoGP as well, it's the same thing of like, yeah, you click on and you maybe see, oh, Pecco's won again or Martin's won again, but you sort of have to dig in, maybe find some of the more interesting battles or find something that you can sort of latch onto a wee bit. But yeah.
It's interesting. And before we actually do move on to Austria MotoGP, I wanted to just talk a little bit
That's
about
the third time. Stop
I
it.
know.
Stop
I'm
it.
literally going to mention this tiny little thing and then we'll carry on.
Okay.
About the World WCR Championship, of course, with superb race 2, actually.
I'm listening.
Race 1 was pretty darn close, I can't lie. Maria Herrera was dragged to the line, then it's a scrap for, I think, third and fourth were pretty close as well. And then race 2, Maria Herrera wasn't given in, but Carrasco just about got the best of her as well. And Maria Herrera, I expected her to maybe run away with it, because I've said for years Maria Herrera is the fastest female racer in World Championships, at least, because Kalayakov is unproven over here. And I think Kalayakov might be the fastest in the world, just saying. But Maria Herrera, I always felt, was faster than, say, Anna Carrasco, who obviously has the accolades, has the World Championship under her belt. And now they're on level pegging. And now they're battling against each other. And neither of them are slipping. Neither of them are running away with it. They're both beating each other and taking points off each other. And I love to see it because them two have one hell of a rivalry.
It's
And
great,
so
actually. It's really good.
Brilliant. Yeah.
It's good racing too. Yeah.
It is. It's fantastic racing, and I think that's the good thing about the championship is that no one has managed to run away with it yet.
You can see there's a clear four. There are
Yeah.
four riders who we expected, to be honest, to be heads and shoulders right above the rest of them. You know, there's a photo of Sara Sanchez on a podium with Fabio Quartararo and Jorge Martin back in the day. You know, so she's always been in good company, and Beatriz Niela was in the rookies the other year, and Carrasco and Herrera speak for themselves, you know. So it's always going to be them four, but where they place, no idea.
Yeah, you never know. And I think that's exciting for them because my hope for this championship is that maybe opens the door back up to the likes of Carrasco and Herrera, back into other World Championship classes, and then as well now for Sara Sanchez and Beatriz Niela, because I think they've proved themselves now with however many rounds we've had. They've just been so good. And then hopefully we'll maybe get some other riders then that can step into the class as well, and we'll maybe see a bit of a bigger fight in the next couple of years once maybe the top 3 or 4 riders can then sort of graduate and move on, hopefully, is what I'm hoping for, because I think it's proved a lot of people wrong this championship, which is amazing to see. I think they have all improved so much. Even the ones at the front have all improved so much from round 1 to now, and they're only going to get better with the more experience that they get, and it's just going to make the championship more and more exciting, and more people are going to get involved in the championship fight the more we keep it running. So I'm a massive fan. I'm so sold on it, and I'm so glad it's gone well.
Yeah, I'm glad because, again, I was maybe a bit worried that there would be, like you said, 1 or 2 riders that kind of ran away. You know, the riders with the Moto3 Grand Prix experience, or, you know, your Herreras, Carrascos, who you'd expect to be heads and shoulders above the rest. But you know what? It just proves that actually Sanchez and Niela have a lot more in them than what you'd think. And Sanchez has come unbelievably close to winning. I don't actually think she's won yet. I think it's just been Carrasco, and I'll just triple check. I think it's just been Carrasco.
I'm 99% sure.
And Herrera, yeah. Let's have a look quick. But she's come like within tenths of winning. It's not showing actually who's won. But yeah, it's just been so good this year, and I'm really excited for it, to be honest, to see where it goes in the rounds coming up. Yeah, Neela's 4th in the championship, and yeah, Ponziani as well in 5th. Again, expected that because she's very good in herself. And
you're talking about speed. Ponziani is fast. Really fast. And going back to Donington Park, she was putting fastest laps in.
Yeah,
for
she was
lot of the race.
When they raced R3s, I think the last few years in the women's class in the CIV, it was pretty much always Sanchez, Niela, and Ponziani battling for championships. And I think it went down to the last race a few years ago between Sanchez and Niela, and it was minuscule. And
she's got the speed, but she just hasn't put it all together yet. But she maybe by the end of this year, or if she's still there next year, I would say she's a name that's going to be at the front consistently.
100%. And yeah, it has just been Herrera and Carrasco. Herrera's won 4, Carrasco's won 2. And there's only 7 points between them.
That's so good.
Wow.
That is so good. That's what makes a championship exciting. I don't know what points if it's just the usual like 25 points.
It will be. It's because Carrasco has finished on the podium in every race. And Maria Herrera's missed one at Donington Park, race 1.
Yeah.
Where Niela was second. So it's close. I like it. It's good. It's good stuff. But yeah, actually now moving on to Austria MotoGP.
No, let's mention...
What?
He just messing with us.
Yeah, thought so.
I mean, there probably is something, but let's actually talk about MotoGP now, because it's been 40 minutes.
to Pacetti. That's it. That's the thing.
Oh no, but that's a legitimate thing that happened
Yeah, that's
a few
legit.
days ago.
So, in every race that's ever been at the Austrian Grand Prix, that's 1,
In
2,
the every
3,
race,
4,
yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 races we've had there. Only ever been won by Ducati and KTM. 8 Ducati wins, 2 KTM wins. Can't see it going anyway but a Ducati win this weekend. Bagnaya's won the last 2, won the sprint last year as well.
Did you get that stat off Crashnet? I seen that.
No, I got the start off my own post this
Oh, was it
morning.
you?
Actually, Sunshine.
Oh,
Did Crash post it too?
He posted it at the same time as me, yeah.
I seen his first. Sorry.
It's
Sorry,
fine.
Dick.
That's fine.
Thought you'd stolen
yeah.
some content there.
No, me and Jordan are fine. Like, the amount of times I post stuff that he was about to post and vice versa. And we always say, we're not MotoGP. It's fine. Just post. So before you try and start some drama there, me and Jordan
I'm not. I know if there's a chance that Jordan is listening to this, I thought I'd give him a wee laugh.
Yeah. Hello, Jordan, if you're listening.
As we find out, he definitely doesn't listen to our podcast.
Yeah, God, he's got his own one, to be fair. Let's be real. And do you listen to his podcast?
Sometimes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. They've actually got Lewis Duncan on there now as well from Autosport, who now works for Crash. So, very good. But yes, Ducati. Bagnaya's won the last 2 races there, won the sprint there last year as well. KTM, I don't think are fast enough at the moment, to be honest.
Pedro's good around Austria, to be fair.
Yeah, he is.
But it's going to be a GP24 that wins.
Yeah.
Just is.
Okay, well, that's everything on this week's podcast.
Great.
So, yeah.
I can't remember, right? Please. Wait, no. I was like, who's Pedro's teammate next year? I was like, oh, wait, yeah, it's Binder, and they've done the Tech 3 with Vinales and there, because I was expecting maybe because KTM always save their kind of announcements. Yeah, announcements for Austria, but they obviously don't need to do that anymore. They did confirm Rulestone last week, who very well deserved in Moto3 to stay at the Gas team. It has been confirmed that Gas in Moto3 stays as Gas, and yet Tech 3 in MotoGP will be KTM. So that's a bit of a strange one, but that's just KTM for you.
Listen, there have been hours of meetings and thousands of pages of documents that have been read through and signed for that decision to have been come to. So who are we to say?
I do want to pose a question to you.
Oh, God.
So, you said GP24's winning. Is Enea going to continue this form?
Would you like to go, or shall I? Okay.
Cameron, you were quite vocal about it last week. There's a video on social media of you, and I'm trying to create a clip for social media again here now. So,
let me just do my hair.
Dance, monkey, dance.
So, no, because
no.
Well, I mean, I think he'll do well, but I don't think he's going to get the win because, and here's why. So, the nature, and this is me being like an expert, at like tire consumption and
obviously
and just everything and the data of motorcycles around tracks. But so in my opinion, Austria is less savage on the sides of tires because it's like pick up and go, right? It's stop start. And Enea's strong point really is the fact that he can save that turning ability and the edge grip much longer than everybody else into a race, and that's not as much of an advantage at a stop and go track like Austria. I think it will go to somebody who uses their body a lot, like Martin. I mean, this is kind of one of Martin's favorite tracks, right? Yeah. So I think the advantage that Enea typically has over race distance with tire life and everything is kind of mitigated at Austria, and I feel it's more in line for either Pecco or Martin this weekend. However, I'm not going to rule Enea out because like he's on form and he's doing good things. There's a chicane now, which is that's 2 more corners, right? So like I do think Enea will do well, but it's not his this weekend, in my opinion.
Okay. Interesting.
Rebuttal, please.
Well,
You made a good point, to be honest.
it's just a very diplomatic answer.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you very
went
much.
A long way
I
around
mean,
there a bit as well.
Yeah, you know, that's just what I do. I say a
You did
lot,
ask
but
him to
not
do that,
much.
Jack.
Yeah, I
You
did. I did. I
like,
did.
you
And
can't
I'm
start
grateful for it. Don't
complaining.
you worry. Don't you
Told
worry.
me to dance, so here.
So
So I'm
Lauren's turn
dancing.
now. Dance, monkey, dance.
I think this just goes on, like, adds on to what we were speaking about last week of, like, I don't think we've seen in this position before in a championship. I was talking about his inconsistencies, so I think this is a test for him now as to whether or not he can be consistent. I think I agree in the sense that I don't think he's going to win it, but podium would be enough for me to go, yeah, that's him on a roll now. He's consistent and he's got something here. But knowing MotoGP and knowing what we've seen of Enea Bastianini before, it could go the other way and it could be 8th or 9th. And then maybe in 3 weeks' time, at Misano 2 or something, he'll be back to winning race. So I really can't tell.
But the
So
thing
I
is,
am 50-50.
At Austria as well, all it takes is for something to happen at turn 1, which it quite often does, or turn 4 now, or 2 or 3 at the chicane.
It's like 2A and 2B or something like that, isn't it? Something stupid.
Yeah, it's
I
a weird
so.
convention. I forget that.
Yeah,
like all it takes is for someone to kind of miss their marker there and punt you wide or punt you off, and that's it. So yeah, it's really hard to say. There are favorites, of course, but it's a real scary track for those kind of accidents, as as we know.
It's one of those tracks as well that even though Pecco, yes, has won there the last 2 years, I'm not fully convinced that Pecco's just going to outright go ahead and win it, because we've seen scary things happen there. We've had 2 massive crashes there in the last couple of years. We had the rain and the red flags, and obviously that's when Brad Binder won in that incredible race in 2021. So anything can happen, I think, at the Red Bull Ring, and I think it's a hard one now to go from Silverstone, second race back after the summer break. I think it's actually quite difficult to call, and I don't think it's going to have a lot of weight in terms of the championship.
No,
because it's such an out there track. There's nothing else like it on the calendar that you could probably just write the weekend off, come back in Aragon, are they going to next, and then go from there.
Yeah, it'd be Aragon afterwards. I can't wait for Aragon. Love that track.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
I will say about Pecco, there are only 3 riders in history that have won more races around that track than Pecco, which is Angel Nieto, Jorge Martinez Aspar, and Giacomo Agostini. Pecco has won it 3 times, including Moto2, and he's got a sprint in there. Technically makes it 4. Not sure he won the sprint in 2023. No, 2022 there wasn't sprints anyway, was there?
No.
So he's officially won 3, technically won 4. So he likes the place, is simply put.
Yeah.
Simply put, he likes the track. He's unbeaten there the last 3 races, especially when they've changed the circuit with a new chicane and he's still on it. I think it's hard to discount Pecco. I know about Jorge Martin also likes the track. He's had, he took his first ever Moto2 win there back in the day. He almost scored the double, but then I think he swapped places with Bezzecchi as well because of hitting the green on the last corner. And yeah, I think it's going to be, personally, I think, between Martin and Bezzecchi. Martin and Bastianini. I'm going to try again.
This
Martin
is some fantasy
and
rider.
Bagnaia. Martin and Bagnaia. There we go. It's going to be between them 2.
Yeah, I think
Enea will be on the podium. I can see him there on the podium. Again, Marquez depends on his weekend. Probably, obviously we've had a few more tracks added to the circuit now, but Marquez has never won in Austria ever. He's won at pretty much every track ever now in
There's
the
a
calendar,
first
apart from
time for
Indonesia.
everything.
Yeah.
My
think-
spanner in the works would actually be Did you?
I was thinking, did you? New
I
contract
just think
as well.
for me, this is one of those tracks where the bike makes or breaks it, and the GP24, as we've discussed, is such a gap, particularly on corner exit and just getting that shove out of the corners. The rider, obviously makes a difference, but ultimately to win the race, I think you got to be on the right bike, and this weekend it's going to be the GP24. And in order, there's 3 GP24s really in contention. I mean, Morbidelli might surprise us, but I think between Martin, Pecco, and Anea, those 3 are going to take the podium, I think. But I would like to just throw in, I've done my thing and I've checked the forecast. Now,
nice. I was hoping
Friday's looking nice, and sort of. I mean, this is just the Google forecast as well. Nothing in depth. So Friday's like cloud with sunshine, 30 degrees. There's actually an excessive heat warning, but I think that might be right now. I don't know. But Saturday, we got thunderstorm. Sunday,
Brabbinder.
thunderstorm. So
is Brabbinder winning? Is that what we're saying?
Brabbinder might win both. Yeah, he might
There's
be the only one to go out.
There is a few wet weather people on the grid too.
I'd say
I
Mark
wouldn't
being
just
one.
mark Jack Miller.
Yeah. Ooh.
Miguel.
Hi Miguel. Yeah, Miguel likes a wet race, doesn't he? He does like wet.
I'd say, yeah.
Apologies, I tried to mute it and didn't. It's just Flash Johnson. I've got something to say.
Declan
Sorry about that.
Something to say.
Put your hand down.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Well,
there we go.
I think we could say that about a lot of riders. I think, yes, it probably will be one of the top 3 in the championship, but I think in everyone's heart of hearts, we're all sort of hoping that it maybe throws
a shock result.
Yeah, we curveball in there, but I think after Silverstone, it probably will be a rearrangement of the podium that we've seen.
Is it 9 consecutive races now? Ducati have done a 1, 2, 3.
You're joking.
I'm not joking.
What?
Do you think I keep that sort of statistic in my head?
I do. Let's find it. I'm going to get the actual information. Right. So.
Yeah.
Facts only, please.
Facts only. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. You talk about
this is the problem. This is the problem. I've got such a bone to pick with you. You'll say something and then you don't have it right there to back it up.
Well, I'm getting it now. What?
I thought you were just going to keep going down.
Right, I think I've got it. I think I've got the actual stuff. Oh God, Cameron.
Oh, sorry, that came out really aggressive as well. I do apologise.
I've got a bone to pick with you. You talk utter shite.
See, I was wrong. See? It's actually 7 times in a row that Ducati have locked it out, which is an all-time record for manufacturer. But still 7.
7.
This is another thing when you're talking about them locking out the podium there. It's made me think about something else that popped up this week. The statistic, can't remember who shared it, of Casey Stoner and Pecco Bagnaia.
Donna posted that.
Thoughts? Yeah.
Well, if we go on stats alone, Pecco is clearly the better Ducati rider. But, and here's a big but, a Kardashian-sized but, Casey Stoner. What?
Don't what us. No. You know what you just said.
So why would that be the comparison?
So, Casey Stoner won on and did all those things on that Ducati when it was, let's be real, not the best bike in the world.
Bag of
It
spanners.
was.
Yep.
It would be like Fabio Quartararo doing what Stoner did right now, because that bike, when Stoner rode it, was a pig. But Stoner was able to ride around every issue of that bike and turn it into an absolute race winner. Marco Melandri hopped on it and finished 17th overall in 2008. The year after, it had just won the World Championship. Stoner did things on that bike that weren't possible. Stoner finished Valencia 2010 in second place. Rossi stepped on it the next day and was 15th. So
it is, yeah, it's
there's
not
no
apples to
comparison.
apples at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like purely numbers wise, then
Yeah,
it's like
congratulations,
Pecco's.
Pecco, but
Yeah, for sure. And
But
like
Stoner,
that's a problem with statistics, right? They don't tell a story. They just
yeah, they're just
tell you
numbers on a
numbers.
screen.
plus
Yeah,
is
that's my
that
opinion.
67? That's 67 then, no sprints.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I don't remember there being a footnote.
No, let's have a look.
So I've just done the exact thing that I've complained about.
Yeah, you look it up,
Wow,
Lauren.
hypocrisy.
Jeez.
Hypocrisy. We love it.
Hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy.
Hippopotamus?
Yes. Hypocrisy. So, Bagnaia has
Democracy?
had MotoGP starts. He's had, it's not going to tell me, 96. But then 2 of those seasons were on the Pramac. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. 18 plus 11 is 29. 96 minus 29 is 67. So it is main races.
Wow. Well done. Don't usually trust your maths, but that was good.
Thanks.
Yeah, we'll be fighting about your maths in about half an hour when
Yeah.
we're talking about the predictions. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is main races to main races.
I think just the fact that even just how many years ago it was, the comparison sort of goes out the
And
window.
who Stoner was racing against Myriad?
True.
Pedrosa,
Lorenzo,
Lorenzo,
I didn't even
Rossi.
think of that. Yeah. I just think like the bikes were so different back then. I know they were both MotoGP bikes, but yeah, I think the main thing being that Ducati wasn't a front runner back then, whereas Ducati is the best bike on the grid. That's another one where it'd be interesting if you put them on the same bike, prime. Each one of them being in their prime, what would happen? Because obviously Casey Stoner's been out of racing for so long. If we did do that test,
I think Stoner would win it by a landslide. Just saying, because Stoner is probably one of, if not the most talented and gifted motorcycle rider to ever grace our sport. Just saying.
Well, I don't think anyone can argue for the reasons you've just said. He jumped on a bag of spanners and won championships on it. So
That's the man with the Mick Doohan poster sitting behind him.
Yeah, it's free.
Oh, it's free.
Yeah, it got sent to me. So
Fuck Mick Doohan then, I guess.
I like Mick Doohan though. He's a legend. It's fine. I've
Yeah,
also
as
got
long
a
as
Marcus
it's free,
poster
though.
there.
Yeah.
Oh
my
Joe's the
goodness.
one over there.
He probably has a big poster of him and Marc Marquez meeting each other. Watches that TV clip every night before he goes to bed.
Yeah,
too.
honestly, I just look at it and go, what a great way to end the day. Good night. Sleep, wake up and go,
Night,
watch
Mark.
it again and go, what a great way to start the day. And then cuddle my little plushie that's got me and Marquez on it. So, yeah.
Cameron's regretting ever starting this podcast with us.
Well, you know.
Sorry.
Every week we get just a little more insight into Deck, and I'm not sure how many more insights I can handle.
No.
But not after spending the whole weekend with him, no.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Traumatic for anybody, to be honest.
It was net positive, really. So
Grassini hospitality made up for it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And the tiramisu
fine.
as well. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
So-
So Austria. It's looking good. What?
I don't know.
Sorry,
Why do people
I'm
listen
the
to this
one.
podcast?
I'm not sure. I'm not
I am
sure.
the one that took us on that tangent and then just
You are.
left
Yeah, you
you
completely
left you
derailed this,
drowning.
honestly.
You
Yeah.
did, and apparently it's my fault.
Oh, sorry guys.
So,
Sorry. No, I just wanted to bring that one up because it caught my eye, obviously, during the week, and I wanted to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on it.
What are
But
your thoughts on that, Lauren?
well, no,
oh,
well, I agree with everything that's been said with the fact of you can't compare the two. I have said that.
Yeah, you have.
okay. Hot take.
But I wanted to bring it back to what's actually going on this weekend,
Yeah.
which is where I was going with the conversation before I completely derailed it, of the fact that it will be a variation of the podium that we've seen at Silverstone. But
Yeah,
I
with a
would
potential
like,
Marquez and Digi in there.
yes, I would like to see something a bit different. I think we've seen it more at the start of the season, and obviously now as everyone has sort of found their grooves and there's been updates and, you know, whatever,
Yeah.
we've sort of fallen into a bit of
I think a good bit of rain
mess.
will fix
Spice
that.
things up,
Surprisingly,
yeah.
I got another little fact for you as well.
Oh, yes.
30% of all main races this year have been a Ducati 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mental.
How many rounds have we had?
10.
11.
10.
10. Okay. So is that three races?
Yeah.
That's not that many.
Yeah.
It's quite a
Well,
lot.
I mean,
one, 1, 2, 3,
That's a
4,
bit of
5
a
is
mess
nuts.
statistic.
1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is mental. Never mind 3 of them
Yeah, but there's
in 10
8
races.
bikes.
Yeah, but
it's pretty wild. But do you know what? I
yeah,
think
to
that
see
just
no one else in there.
it's more that says more about the other manufacturers, I think, than Ducati.
Yeah, they
In
did it.
my
They built a
opinion.
fantastic motorbike, and no one else can beat it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. The fact that the other manufacturers, like two of those bikes are GP23s, right?
yeah, I
Like,
assume so.
I mean, yeah, mostly I imagine on the most occasions that's going to be Mark and Digia in like
Well,
fourth and
Morbidelli's had a
fifth.
few P4s. You know, where's Morbidelli?
Oh,
Morbidelli
true,
had a 5th in Germany, and so I think it might have been Morbidelli that one. Let's have a
Sure.
look.
Well, I mean, at least one of them is a year-old bike, though.
Yeah, actually, in Germany,
Let the man say his point.
Sorry, yeah, I'm just in Germany. 3 of them were GP23s in Germany. Right, end of point.
Okay, wild. Well, even still, at least one of those bikes is going to be a year-old Ducati,
Yeah,
and there's still and the KTM and the Aprilia, as much as we say, oh, you know, they're nearly there, they're still not cracking the year-old Ducati really consistently.
no,
Although it's
true.
in the hands of Mark, so I don't know for the most part.
How many years can we keep saying for KTM and Aprilia? Oh, they're nearly there. They've nearly done
Exactly.
it. Like,
Yeah.
it's getting a bit repetitive and old now.
Yeah,
Especially if Ducati keep making, you know, if the GP25's as big a leap as the 23
which
was
it
to the
will be.
24, come on. Like, yeah, we need these reg changes to just do something about it. I don't know.
Yeah. Agree.
It's a bit mad.
Eh,
Yeah,
it's still fun to watch, really.
it is. We like it.
Yeah.
We like it.
Moto 3 will be good around the Red Bull Ring, if anything else.
Yeah, well, that
and
is
Moto 2 has
one
been
last year.
on one this year, so
Yeah,
that'll
it's
be good.
I mean, Dixon's 7th now in the championship. It's his manufacturer's home round this weekend as well. I say home round, they're owned by KTM, even though they're a Japanese or Chinese brand.
I'd
So-
say KTM will show up with rocket ships.
What, like strapped to the back of them, or
Yeah.
Like this weekend.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Who? MotoGP or
All of them.
just
they will have
everyone?
fresh data
they'll
though.
want to-
Pedrosa
they'll
will
want
have
to
tested
win.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll want to do well, and
There'll be fat
the
bonuses
riders
online.
that they do, well, that too. The riders that they do have at the minute all perform well around the circuit, so they're literally
Yeah.
going to throw the kitchen sink at it, I think, this weekend. And if KTM are going to do well at any weekend, I'd put money on it being this weekend.
Yeah, and I'm sure every rider who's sponsored by Red Bull this weekend has a fat bonus on the table waiting for them if they win the race. Because it is the Red Bull Ring
Yeah.
after all. So,
Yep.
yeah. So, Moto2 and Moto3 before we do our predictions. So, Moto2, last time out, Jake Dixon took the victory and it was amazing. Still haven't gotten over that one.
Yeah.
Superb.
Wild.
But the most important takeaway from that was the fact that 2 WP suspension bikes were on the podium, including Celestino Vietti, who is linked to the Speed Up bike, by the way. Therefore, can we see it again? It does mean that obviously Dixon and Vietti, I know that one race doesn't make your whole season, but it does mean that potentially we could see them at the front a bit more often. Dixon has 11 rounds left. Is that 11 or 10? 10 rounds left now because they're down to 20 races this season for some reason. And he's only 10 points behind Manu Gonzalez in the championship. He's had 2 podiums in a row. Can Jake potentially put on a title charge now? The momentum's in his way. He's got the momentum behind him. He knows he can win a race now. The WP suspension, sorry to interrupt again. WP has been tested by Pedro Acosta here the other week, and he did 183 laps on them. So they've got data.
Yeah, but he's still got to do it.
Yeah, but he's also just won the last time out.
If it's going to be anyone out of the 2 that you've mentioned, being Vietti and Jake, it's going to be Jake. He's going to be more consistent. No offense to Vietti whatsoever, but
it's Vietti, isn't it? Let's be real.
It's Vietti. I don't need to say anything else about that, but I think when Jake does get on a bit of a, I'm not going to say winning streak because I don't know if he'll win it, but when he gets into that groove, I do think that he can be a lot more consistent. And yes, with the added extra bonus of winning last time out at his home round, yeah, knowing that he's in with a shout at the championship, if he can put a little bit of consistency in, he's going to want to do that because no one else in Moto2 is doing that. No one is consistent and no one is putting up a title fight, really. No one's going, right, I am the one to beat. It could be anybody.
Yeah, a few rounds ago, we thought it was going to be Agura. He started to show consistency and,
it was 14th.
And pace. And exactly. Like, Moto2 is so up in the air right now.
And then it was Garcia, and then it was Roberts, and based on
Aldeguer's
last
just nowhere.
Year, everyone thought it was going to be Aldeguer. Then you look at his teammate, and he's nowhere. You're looking at Chantra, who's linked to MotoGP. He's not
11th in the championship.
Tony Arbolino's not there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the same goes for everybody, but especially Jake. If he gets that consistency and he keeps his head in the right place, I can't see him going on a streak. We have seen him, get back-to-back podiums, etc., etc. So, never say never. And if he's gonna do it, now is the time to do it, I think. Especially in this situation, in this age, and the chance of moving manufacturers and stuff like that next year, or moving teams even, next year looks high. So he's got to do it now, I think.
He's fighting for a seat. If the rumour that Daniel Holgado and David Alonso will ride for the CF Moto Aspar Moto2 team next year is true, which, given who has told me these rumours, I'd be highly likely to agree and be like, yeah, it's happened. It's going to happen. Jake's now fighting for a seat next year. He has been linked, rumoured to VDS. Again, not sure how strong that rumour is. But, there is an offer on the table potentially from VDS for Jake. But he's fighting for a seat now. At the end of the day, Holgado's got links to Aspar because he used to ride for them anyway. Alonso's a no-brainer, really, to step up to Moto2. Therefore, Jake is now fighting for a seat and has to go out there and win races the way he has done at Silverstone to do it. And I think for many riders, having that motivation of not having a seat for next year and fighting for that can really push them into a level that they've never really had before. Jake's won races before. Jake's had pretty good kind of runs last year. He was 4th in the championship, pipped at the last race by Fermin Aldeguer. But Jake can do it, and when he's on it, he's on it. So it's going to be quite interesting to see him in the next half of the season, really. Especially because he's been injured as well and missed races. Yeah.
Yep.
especially in 5 races, he's scored 78 points in 5 races. Impressive.
That's a good haul. Yeah, it's decent.
I think you need the context of that. If the only person who scored more points in the last 5 races is Ayagura, who scored 79.
Blimmin' heck. I was thinking who has scored more, so yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, so
I wasn't
that's
sure.
a bit of
Nice.
context there.
Nice
so
nugget.
Yeah.
Really, impressive. So, yeah, and then moving to Moto3, which is going to be a bit of a scrap, I think, because, again,
What makes you
lots
think
of
that?
Red Bull athletes. Yeah, true. I think David Alonso, who has been on the podium 7 times in 10 races, 6 race wins in 10. Strong favourite for the win. Ortolo and Holgado and Vaya will obviously all be in the fight as well. But it's Moto3, anything can happen.
Yeah, exactly. You got turn 1, you got turn 2A, 2B, 3. It's all those bikes trying to fit into those racing lines. Anything could happen.
There is
Yeah.
a rider I wanted to give a shout out to, and I'm not being biased by this, right? But they've made a step in the last few races. It's clear you can see at Silverstone as well. Joel Kelso was on the front row at Silverstone.
Yeah.
He led the race as well. Yes, we've got an interview coming out with him in a few days, but progress is progress. Can he continue it?
Yeah, totally. I mean, Joel, I think Joel gets kind of unlucky as well sometimes. He gets a bit bullied on the track occasionally, and I think just it's coming. He's clearly fast enough. It's just those little extra bits that need to come together for him, but it'll happen. It'll happen.
Yeah. Right. Should we go on to our predictions and wrap this one up?
Go on then.
Okay.
I'm gonna verify my forecasts.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, because it's important if it is going to be a thunderstorm.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't trust your sources, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, my sources are
was
just
a bit mad.
Well, it did rain like a little bit, so
great.
Yeah, at like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Well, Brev, you don't have to listen to me. You can come up with your own original thoughts if you like.
Yeah, Laura.
I do.
Come with the sass.
Anyway,
right. Moto3 pole position, please, Cameron. Seems as Lauren's is copying me this entire week.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. Talking about original thoughts. Yeah.
Oh, you reminded I had picked out a whole list of people.
There you go.
Can I hear what you say first? Can I hear what you say first and then make my decision as to whether or not I want to copy
you want, I'll give you a Bautista style handicap if you want. It's not really a handicap for Bautista, is it? It's the opposite way around. What's the opposite of a handicap?
You were very 50-50 on that, and you've just outed yourself.
What do you mean?
That you think Bautista was handed the championship?
I was never handed the championship. I was like handicap as in like being given weight, but that's the wrong way around, isn't it?
An unfair advantage, some might say.
What if you've got extra weight added to your bike? That's not an unfair advantage.
Oh, you were going on about not this season.
No, I was on about this season because he's got weight added to his bike. Yeah, I just got the wrong word. Anyway, moving on. Cameron, please, pole position Moto3.
Okay. Vire, please. Now, I would just like to say that BBC weather corroborates the thunderstorm. So,
what does the Met Office say?
Met Office, I don't know. You Google it.
I don't care.
Well, you don't care, but you're asking. Do you know what I mean? Let's.
Oh dear.
It's important stuff. I'm last right now.
I always assume it's going to be dry. I'm not going to lie.
Well, carry on. What's your poll then? What's your poll prediction? Or are you waiting for me to tell you what the Met Office is?
Google the Met Office.
No, I'm waiting for Deck.
All right. You're asking for pole Via because he was pole last year. Lauren?
All right. David Alonso.
Nice. Original thought from Lauren. That's rare. Anyway, Cameron, third place, please.
I'm gonna say Kelso for third. Go on then.
Nice. Okay, I wrote that.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Let's make it happen.
go Holgado third. And Lauren?
I was gonna say Holgado, but
You're
I
gonna
knew you
think
were
I'm
gonna say it.
copying you, but I can show you that I do have it written down already.
It's okay. I trust you. Don't worry.
Okay.
Cameron, second place, please.
Vire.
Nice.
Oh
okay.
no. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yep.
I've also gone via same. And Lauren?
I've gone with David Alonso.
Okay. Cameron, who have you gone to win?
I'll say Alonso win.
Same, to be honest. And Lauren?
I've gone with Colin Vire.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Right.
So
Motor 2, I'll kick you off. Oh, wait. What are you saying? Same.
I was just at Met Office. Says thunderstorm Saturday, but just sort of showers on Sunday. So either way, like all sources say there is going to be rain, but the severity is varying.
Okay.
So,
well, there was meant to be thunderstorms here in the UK. I didn't.
There's meant to be thunder today and nothing.
I had thunder today.
It was meant to be last night.
So,
well, it was meant to be last night for us, and I didn't hear anything. So.
I don't know what you want me to say to that. I'm just telling you.
I'm just saying the reliability might not be 100%.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. In the meantime, I've put Iagura on pole and Moto 2.
Okay.
That's nice.
Cameron?
Who?
I'm asking you who you got for pole and Moto 2.
Who me?
Gracious.
You
asking me?
Yes, you.
Yeah, me. Right. Okay. So
No,
I didn't hear
the
you,
other
'cause
Cameron.
I didn't.
God.
Moto2 pole. It's gonna rain. No, it's not gonna rain Friday. Saturday though. Saturday is gonna rain.
Thunderstorms?
Thunderstorms, exactly. So, who's good in thunderstorms? I don't know. Bro, I'm gonna put my faith in WP here and say, let's have Dixon on pole. Let's do it.
Okay,
Let's
finally.
do it. British rider.
And
Use
That was
the
a
rain.
me sort of tangent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So there you go.
Right, and Lauren?
I've gone with Aaron Canet.
Nice, okay. In third place, I have gone for Agura again. And Cameron?
Vietti. Please.
Nice, you've stolen my
Rev.
second place there, sunshine. And Lauren? Vietti.
Me? No, I've gone with Arbolino, actually.
Arbolino, interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, I've gone Vietti second because he won there, oh my god, he won there last year, so I've gone Vietti second. Cameron, please.
Dixon second, please.
Okay. And Lauren? I'm assuming Dixon.
Yeah, I had said that, but I kind of want to change my mind now.
Why?
Guru was third
What's
last
so
year,
wrong
by the
about
way.
my prediction?
I just don't want to pick the same person. I already had it written down, so I do believe it. But no, I'll stick with it.
Dixon?
Go Dixon.
Okay.
Can I
Well,
say who I want to win first?
If you want, yeah.
Agura.
Nice. Okay. And Cameron?
I was also going to say Agura. But if it's going to rain.
Well, no one's picked Garcia anywhere.
Yeah, well, that's that. I was going to pick I was going to go the other side of the box and go with Garcia, because Garcia goes well around here. If I remember him with Pedro a few years ago in Moto3.
Oh, him and Pedro a few years ago was mental.
Yeah. So yeah, well, I'll go the other side of the box from Lauren then. Please.
Okay, and I am all aboard the Dixon train, so Dixon's going to win this one.
Like, I hope you're right.
Train. Okay.
Yeah, I've started the train. I'm on that train. Got 2 tickets to Championshipville.
2?
2 for me and my all my friends here that don't exist.
You and Mick doing over there, yeah.
Yeah. He's got 5 tickets there. He's fine. He doesn't need one from me. Right. In MotoGP for pole position, I'm going Jorge Martin.
Oh, good. I'm going Pecco Bagnaia.
Oh, that's good because he got pole there last year. And Cameron. I nearly called you Lamron then.
Lamron. I've been called worse. Don't worry. True. It's gonna rain.
That is true.
Give me.
Apparently.
In case you didn't know, it's gonna rain. Give me let's go left field. Let's have Jack. Jack for pole, please.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is left field.
What do you mean what?
That is very left field.
He's not even in the field. What are you doing?
Right.
You just
race
wait.
Winner. I've gone
I'm gonna message him right now. I'm gonna message Jack right now. Be like, you better. Do you know what I mean? You better do it this weekend, young man.
Do it.
Okay.
Right.
Exactly.
I have Bagnaia to win the sprint. Cameron.
Martin.
Nice. He is leading the championship by 3 points. I've just had that Miller. Whoopsie daisy. And Lauren, please.
Yeah, Martin. Thanks.
Nice. Right. I've also gone Martin for 3rd. Cameron.
Oh.
Enea 3rd, please.
Nice.
I don't want to pick
Lauren.
I don't want to pick the same podium as Silverstone. Is the problem, but
there's more than likely to be a Ducati 1, 2, 3. So.
Oh yeah, I know that. But I don't know what I want to do here. I'm between a rock and a hard place right now. Do I want to score points or not?
Well,
although I had Moto3 podium in the wrong order last week.
You did.
You get no points. So
Nothing. Yeah.
It doesn't really affect the situation. I'm talking to try and.
Yeah.
This is good. This is good. Talk it out.
I'm waiting.
Talk it out. Yeah.
I would love to see something a bit different. So I'm going to say Pedro 3rd.
Pedro. Okay. 2nd, I've gone on a Bastianini. Cameron.
Pecco, please.
Pecco.
Yeah.
Pecco, please. And Lauren.
I'm going to go. Did you?
Okay. You really do not want to score.
It's raining, apparently.
Okay. I have Bagnaia to win because he won the last 2. And Cameron.
Martin for the win, please.
Yeah,
double. A double for Martin, yes.
Nice. And Lauren's going to pick Jack Miller or something like that.
No,
that'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Oh my god.
I'm not as silly as that. No, Fabio. No, I'm joking.
She's got Nakagami instead.
Just say Quattararo. No.
If it's raining, you might.
He never does well in the rain, so absolutely not.
No.
That would be shooting myself in the foot, that one.
Yeah.
Right, well, if it's raining, Brad Binder.
Okay. I'm liking that. He did get a podium there last year, 2nd place. So, yeah, interesting.
Mistake, but yeah.
Right. That is the predictions done. I think that's all we've got time for. because I still got to render and edit
Please.
this one as well. It's like 10:30 at night nearly.
I'd be right.
Yeah, every time.
Unlucky.
Jobs are
Hell
good.
yeah. Well, but yeah,
You're gonna
thank you for
find a
listening to
nice
this.
surprise in there somewhere as well. Don't think you see me do it.
What?
What?
I don't think you see me do it.
Do what?
I'm not gonna say, am I?
I'm
You
scared
didn't react
now.
at the time. Cameron seen it?
Did I?
I thought you did.
I don't know. I'm in my own world, so it might have just been a coincidence, to be honest.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Great. Anyway,
Yeah.
thanks for listening to this podcast. We're back next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Wait, like, subscribe.
Oh yeah, like
bell
and
icon.
subscribe.
comment.
We're on
Comment.
YouTube now.
Yeah, let's go.
Share with
So,
your
yeah.
friends.
Yeah,
All of them. All 2 of them. Please.
Yep.
that's speak for yourself, Cameron. Anyway, I've got at least. No, I don't have any either. So,
Goodbye.
bye.
Follow our Instagram. We're on the
On the gas pod on Instagram. Right,
God,
let's go.
we should learn this. We really need to
We
learn this.
We need a
guys.
script. Yeah, we need a script.
Right, anyway, ciao, bye.